All right, so I'm going to work out the allPresent method. It's day 65. Don't touch any of this stuff at the top. It's all test code. We're going to go down here, and I'm assuming that you will have already read the instructions. So if you haven't read the instructions, can you pause it and read the instructions? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a for loop that's based on size, like how many elements are in the array. I'm going to go from 1 up to that number. Instead of 0 to 1 less, I'm going to go from 1 to how many there are. So first, you don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to make a variable called size that has the size in it. And that will be nums.length times num0.length. And I'm going to do a for loop in I equals 1, I less than less than or equal to, because we want to go all the way up to and include that number. Okay, so this is going to give us the numbers 1, 2, 3, all the way up. Let's look back at this one. We're going to have to look through the whole array and see if we found a 1. And then we're going to look through the whole array and see if we found a 2. And so on, all the way up to 8. So if at any point we've looked through the whole array for a number, say 1, or like this one fails at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It doesn't have 10. So when it looked for 10, it would go through the whole array, not find a 10, and it's going to return false because this is a Boolean method. So what I'm going to do is set a flag variable to be false, meaning I did not find it. And then I'm going to go through the whole array with the R and the C, 2 for loops. And if I find it, I'm going to set it to true. Okay. And then after the inner for loops, we'll check, hey, is this thing still false? If it's still false, then we never found it. So Boolean found equals false. So each time, like when we come in and I is 1, we're going to say, hey, the variable found is false. We haven't found a 1 yet. Then we're going to go through the whole array, all the rows and columns. And if we find it, we're going to set it to true. And then afterwards, we'll check, hey, in fact, right now I'll put this check. If not found, return false. So right here on the blank line is where we're going to do 2 for loops. But I'm just showing you, here's where all the hard work is, but we're setting this variable to false. If it's still false later, and you could write if found equal false, but I like saying not found, we're going to return false. And if it never returned false, right here at the end, we're going to return true. Okay, so then back to here. For int r equals 0, r less than nums.length. This is just a standard for loop where we're going to do all the rows and columns. Columns we do num0. No underscore there. Now if nums rc equal I. So if we found one that is equal to the number we're looking for, then we're going to say found equals true. And then when it comes out of that inner set of loops, it's going to check, hey, if found is still false, then we're going to return false because we didn't find a particular number, whatever number that is. Otherwise, if we made it through all this stuff and we didn't bail out here because it was false, then we go to the next number. So we check for 1 and we found it. Great. And we found a 2 and we found a 3 and we didn't find a 10, it returns false. But if it makes through all these for loops without returning false, that means that it's true. So we'll run this and we should have it. True, false. All right. If you have questions, send me an email.